Hello everybody. So today's CSS Battle hasn't loaded. It's probably going to break my streak, but you know, this happens. Running software is hard. So in the interim, I'm going to do some retros. So we've got three, July 10th, July 11th, and July 12th from 2023. I was able to get to 100% on all of these. My recollection is that this one was a particular pain at the time. I don't know whether it'll be a pain again. And then I reserve the right to go back and load prior solutions that worked. But I will try to do things in novel ways. This one I did in, I think, with ClipPass, and I think I'll avoid doing ClipPass with that one. I don't remember if I did a ClipPath on that one. I don't think so. All right, so let's do it. Let's go with the blank template and put our initial thing in place. So let's do aspect ratio 1 and a border of 20 pixels solid, whatever that blue is, and we're going to need a border radius of 50%, and that gives us a circle. And we're going to eliminate that background color on the body because we're going to replace that. And then let's see if we can get this into place. I am going to remove that border radius for the time being while I get this into position. I try to align things as closely as possible, and it looks like the numbers are nice and even, 50 and 100, so that probably means that this height 200, 160 sure looks right, and indeed that's looks almost perfect. All right, so what's next? We gotta put a circle there. Now, if we put a background, so we're gonna have two radial gradients, which are gonna generate a circle. So circle, and actually, do we need the circle keyword? We probably don't. And in fact, actually, let's put the width of 160. Now that we know, because that's a little shorter. And also, it feels like I've seen aspect ratio interact in odd ways when doing more exotic things in terms of the rendering. I feel like we saw one like that. All right, so let's get that inner color of a transparent. And then, actually, no, the inner color is not transparent. It's the light blue. And then the external color is transparent like that. And let's set it at a percentage, and then we make that a hard edge. That's too small. It's also in the wrong place, but we can fix that. 30, and then at. So if I do 60%, if I do a single number, that's going to go over. So I need 50%, probably 20%, something like that. So that's the mechanism we're going to use here. So let's go 20. Oh, 20 might be right. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. And is that a little too small? Oof. So that's close. 31%, 22.5%. No, that's a little wrong. So we're probably going to need to use a different unit than percent. Usually that's pixels. So let's do 40 pixels here. 50 pixels. 50 pixels seems like it nails it. So we'll take that. And then we need another radial gradient. This one is highly similar and has not transparent as the background, but that dark blue. Okay, and it's a bigger circle, isn't it? It's a much bigger circle, 40, and then we're gonna move that down. So that's the idea. Too low. Is it too high? The question is does the radius match the curve, right? So that's what we're trying to do. So now I'm adjusting these numbers. And trying to get that curve 5, 4, 3, 2, 42, 43. $80, $90, $100, $100. No, 75. And then let's move that up. Oh, close, huh? Just close enough to, you can see that little waggle when I do the diff. That's no good. So it needs to be bigger. So we're just going to keep adjusting these numbers. So bigger and down, bigger and down, bigger and down. That might be right. Let's check it. Let's check it. If there's a waggle, it's harder to see. That 170, so that's 100%, and we'll take it regardless of whether I think that's right. I think it's right enough, and so that's great. I also think that we probably don't need these circles because the element is a square. We don't need to use the circle key. Oh, do we? We do. We are actually obliged. So this is a case. So because I'm using percentages to define the width of the shape of the radial gradient, I think I can't. I think I have to leave them. So I'm leaving that one. How about this one? Is that the same deal? Probably the same deal, yeah. So because I'm using percentages, that's fine. So I'll submit and then be done. My final answer here. That's a fun one. That's fun, cute. Not better than my top solution. Top solution was 651. So 640. That's good. Good enough. Thank you for bearing with me on that one. All right, so let's do this guy. He's kind of interesting. So yeah, definitely did a polygon. I was when I was revisiting this, that I was definitely in a polygon type phase, which is fun. So what am I going to do here? How about so no element, fine, no margins, fine. Let's start with a linear gradient to just define these two edges here. Where's my mouse? There, this and that. If we get those, that's a good start. So let's do that. So linear gradient. And I think it's what, like minus 30 degrees, something like that. And let's do brown, and then a transparent, and then the brown again. So maybe it's more like 60. Yeah, sure, something like that. And then I'm going to put the orange in the background here. So whatever's not covered by linear gradient has the color keyword. Now you could also have other kind of parameters. You can have background position, the background size, the background repeat, but all those are optional. We're just presuming that it's an auto size, so it's the size of its container, and in this case is the body. So let's do 100 pixels, or 0, 200 pixels, 200 pixels. So, and then a 0 here. So that's the shape roughly. So the angle's a little wrong. We would like, that's the first thing I see. 58, 57, 56. So I'd like the slope of that angle to be identical to what's there. And that's part one of this. And I think that's close. It's close enough. Let's see if we can get there. So these numbers are wrong. Maybe 190 and 300. Okay. How about 194, 95, 96? And then a 1, 2. Not quite aligned, huh? So see the little bit of hedging there. So were we going down? 55 degrees. 55 is worse. 56. 56 is better. Is 57 better? 57 is slightly worse. So 55, 56.5. Let's go 60 minus 60. 59, 58, 57. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 0.6, 0.7. Is that getting worse? 5, 0.6. 5.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, 56.1, 0.2, 0.3. Close. It's close, right? It feels like the slope of that is getting to be where I'd like it to be. 55, 56, 57. That might be dead on. That looks dead on to me. I don't care if it's 56.3 degrees. That might be correct. Okay, so that's the first part. Now what? Now what, smart guy? All right, so next we're gonna cover this with a conic gradient. And I think we do this brown color, 25%, and we need a comma here, and then transparent. We just show through. So there it is. Then with an @ right now that's at an implicit at 50%, 50%. So now I'm going to try to adjust those numbers and see if I can get that into position where I'd like it. 50, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 3, nope. Okay, so that, I think that's going to need to be pixels. Let's see if we can make this one 40, 41, 42, 43. No, probably both of these need to be pixels. I'll just start with 100 pixels, 100 pixels. Too lazy to do the math, but that's okay. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 210. 210 is right on the money. 1, 2, 3, 25, 125. So now we have that cover. So again, what that is, that's that. That's a conic gradient. So this is, so the reason, those are not aligned, right? So this is a different conic gradient. So will we do the same technique? I think we can do a conic gradient underneath. The order is probably somewhat arbitrary as long as you've got transparent in the mix for the upper ones. This is fine. We don't currently have a valid gradient, so let's see. So this one comes around to, so we're going to say he is transparent. No, he's going to be orange, isn't he? Yeah, is this orange color, orangey color? Yeah. and then brown, and then orange again. No, let's so the proper way to do this is let's do the brown to start and use the from keyword from 180 degrees, and we want 25% of it to be that brown, and then we want that to have a hard edge. So we've got, again, we've got similar kind of numbers here. So from 180 degrees, so again, here's what that is. That's what that conic gradient is. And the from keyword comes first, and then we can do an at, and I think we'll do, it's going to be, you know, similar vein. What that one's, the top one is 210 over, so this would be like 190 over, maybe. That's a guess. And if the second number is 125 down, then this would be what, 175 pixels down, and that could be right. Let's submit and see. So that's 3 conic gradients, and that's 100% match. We will minify and unit replace, and that's all good. I don't think this is going to match. So top solutions I've got here are 674, and this is 657. Are there other optimizations that could be made here? Probably. Some tuning could be done, particularly around the units. None of those are reducing down in interesting ways, unfortunately, but you know, maybe there's another way to do some of those numbers. You could do some of them maybe some percentages, those kind of things. Percentage maybe with decimal even, although we did try. All right, that's enough on that one. And then here's July 12th, 2023, and it's the Wi-Fi symbol, right? Like, that's kind of a classic shape. My recollection is I did a lot with clip paths on this guy and was wrong, and I think I just went with gradients and that was right. I deleted the prior code, so let's just take it like it's new. Let's take it like it's new. The question is, do I want to use the element? Maybe I do. Maybe I do. And it might be fun, forgive me, it might be fun to do this with transforming this by rotating it, let's say, and having it be a corner. Maybe that's a really bad idea. It might be. Let's do a margin of 0 on this guy, and a margin of 0 on that guy. No, margin 0 there, margin 0 there. Just to 200 width, 200, transform, rotate 45 degrees. Okay. And then with margins, so we're going to push that down. So I want to do a top margin of some kind. I don't worry about a 0 on the right margin and a 0 on the bottom, and then just give me some control to move things over. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I'm going to leave that 200. I think that's going to be big enough to account for this. 3. How about 0? Interesting. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Could that be right? Okay, so once I've got that, then I can do what, a conic gradient, or a radial gradient. Now, can I remember So there's the circle, and I put it in the middle. Is it 100, 100? Yeah, so it's 100, 100%. I guess if I did minus 45 or 135, what? 135, circle at 0, 0. Minus 135. Okay, so if I do the rotate there, then I don't have to do 100%, 100% here. Yeah, it buys me something. It buys me a little something. It's possible we can do a repeating radial gradient. Let's do the first colors first. So there's our start, and it might just be easier. 4, 5, do 1. So we've got how many stripes? 1, 2, 3, 4 colored stripes, and then transparent between each one. Three stripes, and then a fourth stripe. And because I've set those numbers, so let's get those numbers right and see if we can get 100% match. I'm not sure we can. This maybe it was a mistake, but that's the way we play it as lays. Okay, so I'm just incrementing these numbers a little bit at a time. So that's plus 20 each time, roughly. Will that hold up? Let's find out. Nope, didn't hold up, or I did the math wrong, or oh, I gotta end it. Actually, we need to end it transparent, don't we? Haha. So we got, even though we got those stripes. All right, we've gone wrong. What math is wrong? So the first one is goodish. The second one is goodish. The third one, so this one is not enough. Is that right? Again, the perils of math in your head. Ooh, so pretty interesting. It's close, but it's not perfect. I'm remembering how irritating this one was again. And we're at 99.7%. And it's making me concerned that I'm gonna have to redo what I've done. Is that it's possible these circles are not all the same, right? Even though they appear to be mathematically the same, it's possible their radii are slightly different, or their centers are slightly different, right? You get that effect. You know, the Greeks did a lot of work making things look straight in their architecture because they wanted to trick the eye. But to do that, they did mathematics. I'm not a historian of Greek architecture, but my pop culture knowledge thinks this is good information. Please double check me and you know, check your sources. But to make things look straight to the human eye that are tall or very large, you may have to introduce distortions to sort of trick the eye into believing 21.5. Brutal. 3. Let's submit that. Definitely a little bit of flapping here at the edges. Let's see. 99.9. So better. But is it good? No. So one problem is that this object, it might not be big enough to accommodate. If that is, if these edges here might be a problem, and if that radius is 201 pixels, wait, what if it's less? 199. What if I'm just misreading it? Oh no, 200. .1, .2, .3, .4, .5, .6, .7, .8, .9. Let's try that. 99.9. So one thing that I see in the Discord that's never worked for me, it's never had any kind of effect, is a filter blur. I don't know how they apply it, but sometimes it can trick the renderer into believing. So see, you can actually see that blurriness, and that's a terrible idea. So that's like the worst idea. I guess we would need to apply that to a specific area, and then get that maybe with another element, and then blur a certain area, because really that's not what's going on. All right, so that was a garbage idea. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move this background off of the element and say, nope, not what we wanted. And I'm going to say circle at 50%, 60%, and I'm going to put that there. Then I'm just going to move this down and see if I can align this into place. 7, 8, 9. So we're repurposing the code that we wrote and seeing if we can get into position. 60, 70, 80. Interesting. 85, 86, 87, 85, 84, 83, 4.5. That's certainly getting in the close zone, isn't it? It's not perfect, it's not right on, but the errors that we're seeing seem as though they're consistent across each line. So in this case, it looks like this middle one has problems and the other ones might not. So I'm going to adjust some of these numbers. And yes, I'm fully aware that the bottom corners are currently screwy. .5. That might be right. 0.5. 50.5. That looks pretty good. And this might be what I did before. It sort of feels familiar. Oh, that's pretty good. 0.5. Yeah. And then pretty good. Then it's a matter of covering that up, right? Because there's not another way to constrain that figure. So let's do a conic gradient to start with. I know I can do it with 2 linear gradients. Can I do it with 1 conic gradient? Is maybe. So it's going to be from, what, 45 degrees. And then it's going to be this beigey color for 270 degrees, or 75%. Actually, I can use 75%, and then transparent. And obviously we need to move that to be at 50%, 200 pixels, something like that. 210, 30, 40, 50, 51, 52. Just for giggles, let's do percentages there. 70, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 84%. This might be a better score than I got before. Maybe. So that's 100% match. It's not a better score. But now that I know that I can get 100% there, I think that I can replace these transparents with the actual color and only add a few characters. Is that better? Let's find out. We'll minify. We need to replace. And let's resubmit. And that's a better score than I ever got before. Love it. That's great. So that's an interesting one. That is the same gradient, but applied to a figure, and I had to adjust it to have it look the same. Why? I don't know. I don't know. Is there some thing happening in the browser engine to make it look slightly different? I'll tell a small story. I was working for a company that did an integration with a large electronics manufacturer, and they wanted a gradient. They had a gradient that their designers really loved. Very complicated gradient, not a gradient that is currently replicable even now, using gradients that I do on this with the CSS battles. And even their images, which they provided like an SVG, it just wouldn't quite render right in every mobile browser, which is what the pages were targeted at. They had very specific concerns, and sometimes it would just look pixely and chalky and weird because of the sensitivity of their gradient. When it was resized, it just would be skiwampus, just would be no good, and they just were never quite happy with it. We went back and forth. I would recompress images and say, well, how about this? Here's a ping. Okay, how about this? How about a JPEG? And then we'll add a little bit of a gradient along the sides and sort of hide the pixely. They were just never happy. So, clients would like things to look how they like them to look. And sometimes not every browser, and in fact, you can guarantee browsers won't be pixel identical. There will often be some subtle small thing. And that's my talking point for the day. Thanks for watching. This was fun, enjoyable. Have a great day, and hope your new year is going well. Bye.